Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. Got Tran in the building. It's that time of year. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and it's not even December. Tran, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Oh, it's going great, man. It's what, 4 days as we shoot this away, and this is my favorite time of the year.
It's a time of optimism, a time of hope, a time of the falls. You just have an extra pep in your step, extra juice. Seems like the weeks go by a little faster, right? And then we got the weekends, right? Those Saturdays. College football is back. That hope and optimism, Tran, that we have right now. Hopefully, we can sustain that and have a really great season. Because I'd be feeling some type of way if I was a Florida State fan like a week ago, because I'm sure they felt the same way before they went to Ireland and got exposed. Shout out to Georgia Tech. But we're here to talk Texas. And we got an opener here this weekend, DKR.
Colorado State Liver Lacerators.
Colorado State, right? Jay Norvell coming back, former Texas assistant back in 2015. He's been all over the place. He's coached all over OU, all over. But he's got a Colorado State group coming in the opener out of the Mountain West. And what's interesting is they got 19 players. I believe he said 19 players from the state of Texas on their roster, including their starting quarterback. So going to be really fun opportunity for those kids to play on Texas soil. Tran, in the live earlier, the folks are asking about Weatherman Tran and what to expect
With possible rains.
for a 2:30 kickoff on Saturday. What do we have you in all seriousness? What are we hearing? Is it going to be Louisiana Lafayette hot, or is it going to be a little bit of clouds to protect us out there? Because we'll both be at the game. So
yeah, we'll be at the game. But my wife is coming with us as well, and she's the one who's been monitoring it. She's like, there's a possibility of rain, so she's not looking forward to that. But I mean, I'd welcome it to rain if it's one of those Texas rains where it rains hard for like 20 seconds and then it just cools it down enough. So I'll be fine. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be low to mid 90s, which is way more bearable than the previous 5 years of opening kickoff. Oh man, I remember that Texas Tech game that you and I went to.
Yep, that one too.
That was bad. But yeah, so if anything, just ball security if weather came to play in it. And
Sure.
So that's the only thing I'm looking forward. I'm not thinking it's going to be terribly hot for us there.
Which is a positive for the fans too,
Yeah.
and everybody coming. I mean, I'm excited. It's almost like a family reunion for Texas fans, all the locals and people we get to see from a tailgate experience and whatnot. So excited to see everybody on Saturday. Before we get into actually talking ball, first off, hit the like button, subscribe. That's how we take attendance here and helps us grow the platform and the channel, as well as getting us familiar with other people to continue exposure and immerse in the community. Also, sponsor, and we got a dope sponsor here, Autograph. Guys, go download Autograph. It's free to use, invite only. It helps support the channel. Fanatic24 is the promo code. You punch that in, you have access to the app. The Texas community on the app is growing heavily. And here's what Autograph is, right? You get to track Texas as a fan and get rewarded for your fandom. Every article that you read, get credit for it, get points for it. Every podcast you listen to, Texas related, get points for it. Every Texas video you watch, like this one, watch it on Autograph, get points for it. Increase your fandom and chances of, tickets, merch, giveaways, meeting, at sometimes you meeting players and folks that they have. I mean, Tom Brady has a massive network who is, one of the founders and owners of Autograph. So this is a community that has grown significantly. We partnered up with Autograph during March Madness, and it was huge in the college basketball community. They launched it last year during only for Michigan during the football season, and what ended up happening is they ended up sending people to the Rose Bowl. The platform blew up. Obviously, Tom Brady's alma mater and Michigan won the national championship, but now everybody's on here, right? NFL, MLB, NBA, so all your favorite teams you can track and get. I mean, I used it, for Mavericks playoff games and whatnot. So really, really dope app. True fan pricing. Take advantage of Autograph. Use that Fanatic24 promo code. Tran, man, I'm so excited to talk ball with you, man. So Colorado State, just real quick, tail of the tape. Jay Norvell, they're running air raid. They're gonna I just like to get straight to the cut to the chase, right? They're gonna come in here and try to throw the ball 60 times, right? And they've got a lot of returning guys. This is I would say a solid football team. They were 5-7 last year, but they got a lot of guys coming back. A lot of the games they lost last year were, you know, just bad luck, undisciplined. They had a lot of penalties under Jay Norvell. If you go back and even watch that game against Colorado, which was one of the Henry Blackburn game where he knocks out Travis Hunter on the sideline.
That's why I call them the liver lacerators. That's why I call them the liver lacerators, because that was a dirty ass play.
The liver lacerators. Oh, that's hilarious. So he's still here, by the way. He's still, that kid's still in the 2 deep at safety, but they're gonna come in here, a bunch of Texas kids, try to throw the ball around, try to have fun, and hopefully hang around. I mean, the spread is 32, Texas by 32, but I do think Colorado State is a team that will go to a bowl this year. I could see them winning between 6 to 8 games. I think they're going to be much improved with the returning experience they have. And they have one of the best wide receivers in the country in Torrey Horton, who is an absolute weapon. When I was on with the Unfiltered guys earlier, I compared him to Stephon Diggs. He reminds me a lot of him. He works a lot in the slot. He can play outside and in the slot, but he works predominantly in the slot, especially with air raid and how quickly they want to get the ball out and utilize the middle of the field as an extension of their run game, as well as we'll see a lot of bubble screens. Y'all are familiar with it. People run air raid all over the state of Texas, right? So we know what we're going to see. But Tran, you being the DB guy, this is a test right off the bat for our secondary that is supposed to be newly revamped. All the big names that have come in, the people that we got to stay like a Jade Barron, the people we're getting back like a Jalen Gilbo, Andrew Makuba's coming in. We got mainstays like Michael Taff and Manny Muhammad. Like, I think this is a pretty cool test for those guys, to open up the season. What say you?
So all I've been hearing from camp is how much improved our secondary has been. I mean, we get to see it. We get to see it early on because this is really strange for me to say, but we are a better team. I just want us to go out there and prove it. Like, honestly, it's yes, Norvell's going to want to come in and try to shock the world and do whatever he can, but we can't even let them do that. We can't let them have any confidence. We need to stop them on their opening script and then just break their confidence right then and there. Drive right down, end it. Because we saw what happened when they played against Colorado. When they got up early. I think they were up 3 possessions or something like that. Really early in the game. And I think that was the first game of the year as well. So don't give them any confidence. Go in, make it very pleasurable for the fans. We're not going to see a ton of our playbook or anything like that. We're just going to try to beat them with talent because we have Michigan the next week. I just want to see us execute. And that's what's been so comforting to me for the past year and a half is that I know if we execute, we have a very good shot at winning every single game.
Yes.
So that's the one thing that I want to go in, and I'm not trying to go in there conceited or anything like that. It's the truth.
It's the confidence you should have in this football team. I mean, this is a loaded Texas roster. Let's not. I mean, they're the number 4 ranked team in the country for a reason. They were a playoff team last year. They were a completion, right, a halfway decent throw away to A.D.
Yeah.
Mitchell from being in the national championship game, and who knows, right? This is a team that went 12-2 last year, and you can definitely argue that they should have won the 2 games that they lost, right? And they didn't necessarily play their best football, but to say that is to say this isn't a game where I'm concerned about the outcome in terms of win loss. Just not try again. I'm with you. I'm not trying to sound arrogant or anything, but that would be we're having a whole different conversation if doom strikes Saturday afternoon. But this is more of a tune up for the secondary, a tune up for our offense as a whole. I think this is a game where the offense should have a really good day. Um, there's not much to worry about, especially from the Colorado State defensive line against what we should have one of the best offensive lines in the country, which then talks to our Heisman hopeful third year quarterback in Quinn Ewers, who should have a lot of time to operate at DKR and get into rhythm. I want to see him come out and ball, right, and set the tone on the offensive end. But collectively, it's just execution, looking sharp, looking
Yeah.
business-like,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think that's the next step up from where we were last year, because from in the same breath that I said we could have even won, we could have even been 14-0 and gone to the 15th game. There were games where we didn't play a complete game at all, and just won on talent and got out of there, but we didn't put 4 quarters of good ball together, and some of them we didn't even put a whole half of good ball together and got away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Those habits won't work this season, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Not with this schedule. You can pull that against Houston and some of the other schools we had and get away with it because we were good. But that's not going to fly once we get into SEC play, right? So we got to have that approach now. And I think with the maturity on this team, another year of Sark just being in the program, now he gets to talk to the kids and the staff from a position of confidence, right? From what he's now accomplished. They know that the product is proven. Now we're trying to improve upon a product that we already know works, right? And make it elite. So that starts with just not the theme this week is not playing with your food.
Yep.
I think that's the theme that we are going with this week. And we know what that looks like. We know what good looks like. People tried to come at us last year early in the season when we were overly critical, but because we knew what that team was capable of. And I think we also know what this team is capable of, and we both feel the same way there. Going into specifics about this game, right? From a Texas standpoint, for you, are there any players, position groups? The secondary, obviously, with the nature of what Colorado State's running with the air raid, but what else are we looking for, right? That when you go there, DKR, and you're like, hey, I got my eyes on so-so, or I can't wait to see this player make his Texas debut.
Yeah, so there's actually a couple groups I'm very interested in seeing how they've because I really haven't watched any highlights from any of the news sources of the little scrimmages that they've had or anything like that. I want to see, like, talk is great and everything like that, saying that, oh, the defensive line looks pretty good. I want to see the defensive line because that was our strong suit last year, and we lost 2 All-Americans. Actually, I think they were the 2 highest rated D tackles in the nation at the time, which is really hard to replace. I want to see how we manage that. Number
Coach
one,
is gone too.
yeah, coach has got very good point. I do think we did a good job from a hiring perspective. But another thing I want to see is how cohesive or what kind of relationship the quarterback wide receivers, because there are 3 new wide receivers that are going to get a lot of playing time, to see how well they've gained gained Quinn's trust. I know I've heard a lot about Isaiah Bond. Every single day catches 1 to 2, just oh my Lord plays. So I want to see how that goes, and then also a mixture of, because if I have it my way, we're going to see a lot of the youth getting to play this game as well. Like a lot of the backups getting to play. I want to see how they move in game situation. Finally, I want to see the linebackers. I want to see how they've morphed. I mean, another year in the strength and conditioning program, understanding everything, because I know we're fast. And we aren't afraid to hit. But I want to see if we know those little nuances that our older linebackers last year had, and see if they've actually acclimated to those calls.
Yeah, Anthony Hill, taking over at Mike, right? Second leading tackle last year, played great. Played great off of Jalen Ford.
Yep.
Now he is
The guy.
the mic, and he's going to have also the advantage of helmet comms, right? So he'll have the mic in his helmet as well. Playing next to David Benda, who is, we talked about this earlier. We got 5 guys left that played for Tom Herman, and all 5 of them are starters. So one of them being David Benda, who, will help, I think, a lot. Anthony Hill line up next to him. Plus, you got veteran guys like Maurice Blackwell.
Yep.
Game speed's going to be out there. And then we got the young bulls behind them like Leifau and, young Ty Anthony Smith and Darian Gillette and all these other, younger guys that are in the room that are going to have the potential to play. Right. So how do they look? Right. Do they have the proper drops? You're playing air raid. They're going to have to probably be in pass coverage a lot, right? A lot of mesh, right? Are you guys able to pass people off? Not just the safeties in the corners, but also you guys there, and hopefully people not trying to exploit you guys in coverage or get you guys mixed up. But the other 4 guys, by the way, from Tom Herman, 2 of them are defensive tackles, Vernon Broughton and Alfred Collins, right? Those are and then, on the other side would be Jake Majors at center. So we got some old heads laying around, and then Jade Barron's the 5th one, who will be starting somewhere in the secondary, most likely at field corner. So he's making a big move to the outside, right? Potentially replacing Terrence Brooks, who's now at Illinois. That's to me, something I'm really curious to see how he handles perimeter speed. Can he play, with it, can he play in phase? I know he can play zone, right? And really he's a dominant defensive player when he's facing the quarterback and able to fly forward. But can he defend, right, down the field, more advanced concepts? Some of the things that our corners have struggled with over the years, playing the ball in the air. Those are things we want to see.
It's paycheck year for him.
Came back for a reason.
Yeah, paycheck year for him.
So, and, Johnny Nansen, who's here now, right, who did a great job, D coordinator at Arizona.
Right.
Shout out to Jeff Choate. Nevada almost pulled off the upset against SMU, who was favored by 27 points. And, he and his former Texas boys like Savion Red and them had SMU in absolute hell and almost pulled off the upset. They lost by 3. But shout out to Jeff Choate in his debut at Nevada this past week. But Nansen replacing Jeff Choate, I think he's also going to have an impact on both the defensive the defensive line as well as the secondary. I think he's going to have a lot of say in combination with PK, especially since they're familiar and they come together from the same circles. I think that'll help PK a little bit more, maybe kind of like that familiarity we had once with Gary Patterson a couple years ago, where we got the communication really established in the secondary that had been a problem at Texas forever. So that is something that I'm really excited to see. Secondary wise, so somebody asked me about the combination. So sounds like we'll have Barron, obviously Manny Muhammad holding it down at the boundary corner. Jalen Gilbo back healthy, potentially at the star. Either him, maybe Makuba comes in. Who knows? I don't know how they're going to do the first five. Taff is your starting safety. Y'all can argue with your mama. And then probably
Derek
Derek Williams.
Williams. Yep.
Yeah, right. So, but there's some other guys back there, right? Andrew Makuba coming in, Jelani McDonald, who's all world athlete. That is
Yep.
just, you know, I'm curious, man. There's a lot of guys I want to see perform. The guys we haven't mentioned though are those edges, and I don't know what to expect because I think the ball's going to be coming out super fast on Saturday.
We'll learn
But
a
over the
lot
course
more
of the
in game
season,
two
disruption.
with them. Yeah, we'll learn a lot more game two with them. I think this is more so you got to keep contained.
Yeah.
I think for this game, I think they know that we have superior athletes on the defensive line, especially the ends, that they're going to get the ball out fast.
So one thing I will say with Braden Fowler Nicosi, who is the Colorado State quarterback and a former Texas high school quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
very talented. Jay Norvell was not shy about, and it's been a story in the offseason. People offered what 600K, 700K for him to get in the portal to come to their school to be their quarterback, and he stayed, and Torrey Horton stayed. Very talented duo. And but as talented as a thrower as Braden is, he kind of, he's got some traits to me of like Jared Goff at Cal in the early days. Just a really smooth, natural, accurate thrower, right? Like it's effortless, and he's like 6'3", 6'4", so he's like the natural height. He's not a runner. He's not a runner, but he also doesn't get sacked. I think they only gave up like 14 sacks last year, but it's air raid because they're throwing the ball rapid fire. Here's my thing though, Tran. The boy threw 16 interceptions last year. I need to be on my Denzel Washington. I'm leaving with something, Tran. Come on. I don't want to see a game where this boy coming in here, he throws picks and then we don't get picks. You see what I'm saying? Because that happened with Donovan Smith a couple times where he was turning the ball over to everybody, and then we play the guy, and we don't get no turnovers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would like to see disruption, Tran. Is
Oh
that
yeah.
fair?
No, it's very fair. It's something that we haven't seen in I'd say quite a while. I do think that we do have the ability to be a ball hawking team. It's just we just have to see it, and I'm with you on this. And there's certain things that the defensive line could do that could help cause the disruption. Get big. I mean, yeah, he is 6'3", but if you're 6'3" and you're still throwing over an outstretched arm of a defense lineman, it causes bad throws. I mean, just like there's certain things that you can do, and I want to see it there. Also, our speed from our linebacker position still can help affect that too, even on the pass rush, even if it's making him step up into the pocket a little bit and then have to quickly decide which read he wants to go with. It might throw him off his passing game as well.
I agree. I'd like to see us get 3 or more turnovers on Saturday, and just have that mind, establish what. Hey, we're a disruptive team, right? And I think the more third and longs you force people in, I know they didn't give up a whole lot of sacks, but when you start putting people in those situations over the course of a game, those opportunities will come. Sark said on Monday, if you're in the 2 deep, you're going to play in the first half. He made that very clear. Then somebody countered and asked him, well, does that mean Arch will play in the first half? He said, we'll see. This is an important game because we don't have a whole lot of opportunities to get young guys reps. When you really look at our schedule, we have a very difficult schedule this year. So not very difficult schedule compared to some other people like OU or Florida or whoever, but we have a hard schedule, I would say. So there's not a whole bunch of games where it's like, oh, I could look at that game and be like, Arch gonna play the whole second half of that game, right? Like, so we really have to take advantage of this one. I'm looking at guys like Trey Wisner on offense. I'd like to get him some work this week,
Mm-hmm.
right? To get him used to carrying the football and acclimated. Jaden Blue, of course, I want him to look good, but Michigan, again, like you said, week 2 is that's the main thing for some of those guys. I want Quinn to look good, put up his numbers, and I'd like to see Arch Manning throw his first touchdown as a Texas Longhorn. This is an opportunity. This is an Arch game. Let's just be honest. This is a game where some of the younger receivers are going to have some opportunities. I'm really excited to see Ryan Wingo play football on
Same.
Saturday.
Same.
They talking about he's a young Roy. So that to me is a difference. If he's because they're saying he can go over the middle too as a big 6'3", 6'4" type guy. That's important for Quinn because a lot of the guys we have, Matthew Golden's I think is a little bit bigger than what people think, but our guys are fast, yak, tough guys, but they're more. We still don't, we're still looking for that 80 Mitchell long big guy to go. You know what I mean by that, right? And
Yeah.
third down. So curious to see what your thoughts are just
Yeah.
with the offense and what you're seeing.
Well, to your point about Wingo playing, and I know that's my son. That's the one he wants to. He watches the wide receivers. That's what he does, and he breaks down their footwork and stuff like that. He's weird. He's a weird kid, but I want to see it because of a different, more selfish reason. It's like we missed out on 2 wide receivers that we were looking at. Dude who went to Oregon. What was his name?
Corey Moore.
Yeah, Decorian Moore. And we're trying to get French, right?
Mm-hmm.
You play these
got
young
Lockett coming.
Yeah,
Now we're trying to get French.
you were trying to get French now. You play these studs that at a young age, that is a selling point because we already know that Sark can get you drafted. But is he going to get you on the field fast? And if you start seeing people like Ryan Wingo playing, I know we saw a little bit of Jonte Cook when he was younger, but we're going to start seeing more of him this year. Those they want to be featured. Wide receivers want to be featured, and it's understandable. They want the ball in their hands, and if they start seeing that on game day. Hey, I mean the door's going to be open because this is a wide receiver friendly offense. Sark said that to my son. I like ballers, word for word. So,
and he's a guy that delivers that, right? I mean, he has. I had to remind somebody of this on Twitter this summer that had the nerve to question Sark's development of receivers, even after we had 4 pass catchers drafted. There's trolls everywhere, is what it is. But I had to remind the gentleman that Steve Sarkisian, last time I checked, had a receiver win the Heisman.
when was the last time a receiver won the Heisman? That's the
like, what are we doing?
I mean,
like, he can showcase you, okay? So that's without question. I mean, Michael Terry as well, right? I mean,
oh yeah.
So yeah, Michael Terry's outstanding. Who could play? We'll see where he plays. Some people got him on defense, some people got him on offense. I think he's an offensive weapon, but those are guys that are like, yo, if he's doing that with them, I see myself.
Yeah.
Right. And look at the quarterbacks that they're developing. Right. Quinn is developed. Arch is developing. Trey Owens is developing.
Mm-hmm.
KJ Lacey out here balling out in Alabama.
Yep.
Right. They're looking at this like, man, like this is this is something that Sark is doing that these kids can really see themselves, showcased. So great point about the recruiting element. I completely agree. So Tran, What's your score prediction for the game?
I'm gonna say 42-17, Texas. I think they beat the spread. Like whenever I see a spread where it's like 33 points, I mean it's only a 60-minute game, and at some point, you just run the clock. A lot of the times, you just run the clock. So I mean, I think that they beat the spread.
I'm gonna go. So you got 42-17?
Yeah,
Okay. I don't know, maybe it's just the Kool-Aid in me, brother, but I'm gonna go 55-17. I think they're gonna put up some points. I think they're gonna try to show some offensive proficiency. I think your point about showcasing the receivers and really showing off the weapons. Not just Quinn, right? I think Quinn just being a year three guy dialed in. I think, and also the matchup. They had it. They Colorado State last year had a kid in Kamara, the defensive end. That kid had like 15 sacks. That guy's gone. That guy
yeah.
is on the Miami Dolphins now, and they lost somebody else to on their defensive line to Florida State in the portal. I don't see how they're going to be able to disrupt Quinn like that. So to me, he should be able to get immediately into rhythm. And this secondary is not bad. Don't get me twisted, but you know how it is when you're not able to really get in the quarterback's face. So I got 55-17 Texas, which means they would cover in that instance. Um,
Your,
but you know,
I was just gonna say your prediction's way more realistic than my son's. What do you say? We're gonna win by 65.
65. I
So
love it.
disrespectful.
Love it. Said bump you, Jay Norvell. So season real quick. Season predictions. I'm wrestling with this. I want to go 10-2. I want to say 10-2. So I'm between 9-3 and 10-2. If I had Cedric Baxter, I would be for sure 10-2. I think every little bit hurts or helps you in regards to this particular season because I don't see anybody going undefeated in college football this
No.
year. I think you're going to have a lot of teams that are 2-loss teams. I think you're going to have a bunch of good teams that are potentially 3-loss teams. The key is if you can be in that 1-2 loss mix and make your conference championship. I don't know where the two are going to come from. I'm going to go 10-2, but I would not be surprised if we dropped 3 games. Even in that scenario that we drop 3 games, I still have us making the college football playoff, the 12-team playoff. I know that's probably underwhelming for some people. I know a lot of people are on the 12-0, 11-1 bandwagon. I think Georgia's going to lose multiple games. Okay, like this is unless you've got a light schedule and another like I don't see it. So for me, I'll say 10-2 for Texas this year. One, I think we're going to drop a game that we shouldn't,
Oh yeah.
but it'll be kind of like the refocus thing, right? Um, and then I say we probably split the Georgia Michigan series. We need to beat OU this year. I'm tired of the not bringing our A game to Dallas anymore and being too cool for school. OU needs to be a priority to whoop their ass this year, as far as I'm concerned. Like we need to be just as locked in for OU as we are for Georgia. I hear too many people focusing on Georgia and not enough attention on OU, who's our freaking rival, and I'm sick and tired of it. The same energy that I know that they'll take to College Station, because we haven't played A&M in a while, and we don't know. I think A&M might be just too banged up by the end of the season, but we'll see. It's still going to be a super intense, emotional game. But OU to me is a priority. Whether we go 10-2 or 9-3, we need to whip their ass. That's a whole thing within itself. But I do think that there's you know, Florida, Kentucky, some of these teams that may not have the best record, but have very physical offensive, defensive lines and talent, enough to beat you if they have a good Saturday and you come in there playing C plus football. So um, I say 10-2. What say you, Tran?
So I'm actually in the same band as you. Like, would love to say we're going undefeated, but like you, I do think that this is a weird, different year where even if you do have one of those like, hey, I fell asleep at the wheel game, you still can make the college football playoffs. I'm gonna go 10-2, not the 9-3 that I still think we would make the playoffs with. And it's only because, like, if you look at our schedule, it's extremely manageable. Like, we do have a tough schedule, and don't let anyone tell you. Like, I have a lot of Aggie friends, like, oh, you guys have a cakewalk schedule. Like, we do not. We don't have a cakewalk schedule. We have OU and then Georgia back to back, and then I think our last 4 games after our break are what? Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, and A&M, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't cakewalks.
At Arkansas is not guaranteed, by the way.
Yeah, it's not.
We know what happened. That needs to be full circle 2021, and they got a freaking 6'7" QB that runs a 4.3 now. So I look, and Petrino's over there.
Yeah.
These games are not. They're not like you just again, you can't just show up and we got off and win like like Houston. I'm sorry, it's not the same. It's not.
Yeah.
No, that's.
Well,
I agree though with how tough it is. Y'all let us know in the comments what you think in terms of record and prediction. I think if we go 10-2, I do think we'll make the SEC championship game. And from there, hopefully, because at that point it's going to be about securing the bye, which will be very, very key. Having to play one less football game versus being in that tier of the 7th seed or the 8th seed or whatever, and you got to play multiple games, right? Like that's a tough task. So, Texas has the talent, the coach, the QB, to put themselves in position to at least be amongst that 4, to secure a spot. Because I think even with 2 losses, they could make it to the SEC championship game, go 11-2, and be in that group to get a bye as an SEC champion, right? Not saying they're going to win the SEC championship. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that that's a possibility. Any other thoughts, comments, concerns, Tran, that you wanted to address as we head into the kickoff of the season, man? What's on your mind?
No, I'm just looking forward to kicking back, relaxing. It seems like it's been too long since you and I. Actually, you came down not too long ago. We went to a comedy show, but this is some of my favorite times is just getting to hang out with you, brother. That's it, and getting to meet all the people that are a part of this channel. It's really cool.
I love it. I love you. Love everything we've gotten to do over the years, and get the fact that we get to do this every week as friends. And it's awesome, right? Chrissy's birthday is coming up. We're going to be down there to celebrate.
It was your birthday. Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. A lot of birthdays going on right now. But we'll be out here. I know we're going to have some thoughts on here from your son, Jordan Tran, as well as his prediction on the tail end of this. So stay tuned for that. And let us know. We will I think Friday we'll probably try to do a one more sleep live in person. Where we'll just chat with you guys for a little bit. And, it's always the night before where you're a little, you can barely go to sleep.
Antsy.
We also have football on Thursday night. Colorado and North Dakota State play Thursday night. So Coach Prime against one of, if not the best team in the FCS. So football's here, man. We
Oh yeah.
here, and can't wait. Y'all hit that like button, subscribe. Appreciate everybody tuning in, supporting the channel, rocking with us over the years. Very, very grateful for each and every one of you. And shout out to our sponsor, Autograph. Make sure y'all go download the app. It helps the channel out. Fanatic24 is the promo code. Get rewarded for your fandom. Every article you read, every podcast you listen to, every video you watch, just like this one, get points, access to tickets called True Fan Pricing. Some are giveaways. The more points you accumulate, the more benefits you can get. Merch. It's literally for fanatics. Okay. So shout out to Autograph, founded by Tom Brady, the GOAT himself, put this app platform together. Tons of great people behind this. Now they got NBA, NFL, MLB, the whole bit. Shout out to Autograph. Fanatic24 is the code for entry. Tran, appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate
Guys,
you, man.
remember, horns always up. Hook 'em. All right, Jordan.
What player are you
How
most
much we gonna
excited
win
about
by?
saying?
What?
How much we gonna win by against Colorado State?
65.
65.
That's ridiculous, Jordan.
I love it. What if they do it though, Tran? Then what? Jordan's standing on business. So who do you want to see? Who are you excited to see play on Saturday, Jordan? Who are the guys on Texas that you're looking to see perform?
I'm really excited to see Isaiah Bond from Alabama.
Well, he's Texas now.
Yeah, I know, to
Right.
Texas, but I feel like he's when that toe tap against Auburn was really good. I think he might do that again.
And he's he's filling in for Worthy now too, so he's gonna have a lot of opportunities to replicate that success that he had. Who else? Who else is on the list? I know you got some other players you're looking at.
Amari Nyblack.
Another Alabama guy.
Yeah.
You're really high on those transfers. Why? You just like the athletic tight end?
Actually, I've seen my dad play college football, and he always uses his tight end. He's always open, but he's not that fast. But to me, every single time I walk in, he head tops like everybody.
Who do you use on college football 25?
Mostly Ryan Wingo.
Is he a beast on there?
Oh, I just throw it up and he just go catches it.
Do you use Quinn or Arch?
Oh, so I actually have Art, but I also have another 5-star, so I switch them all in. But
Oh, you
Quinn,
got a rotation.
but Quinn already went to the NFL.
Oh, what season are you in?
I'm in season 4.
Oh, wow. And you still have Arch?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, wow. He's an old head now then. And you still have Ryan Wingo?
Oh, this is Ryan's Wingo last year, I think.
Oh, okay. Man, well, is he going to win the Bolitnikoff for the best receiver in the country?
Oh, he got it 2 times.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's light work then. Man,